In this video, I'm going to talk about the protagonist of the latest GOP outrage, Paul Gosar, a House representative from Arizona's 4th District, who took it upon himself to publish an anime video featuring violence against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Joe Biden, which then elicited the consequent outrage. And his response was that something about saving the soul of America. And, there's no doubt in my mind that this guy is in Louis Gohmert territory. He's dangerous, crazy, and quite stupid. That's pretty much true. There's no doubt about it. But he's in Congress. This is the era that we live in. And, Gohmert suggested that the way we should deal with climate change was perhaps to try to alter the orbit of the Earth or of the Moon, I forget, something like that, something equally brilliant. And then you have, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who will say that it's caused by Jewish space lasers, and so on. There are a number of them, the ones that show up with snow on the Congress floor to illustrate how climate change works. So we have a situation, though, where these people tend to be in districts that are heavily gerrymandered, and they're very difficult to defeat because the district is set up to heavily favor them. And this guy has been in Congress since 2010, and since you can gauge his intelligence and his aptitude for the job. Doesn't have any, but there he is. So when you see that he defeated Delina, her name is Delina DeSanto. He defeated her 70-30 in the 2020 election, and it's looking like she may be his opponent again. That doesn't exactly inspire confidence in the outcome. She needs to flip it completely, or maybe not completely, but certainly make up all those points. 20 points, right, to bring herself to 51 or 50 plus something to defeat him. When you look at the charts, you don't see anything in the immediate term to correlate what he's going through right now with this mini scandal. There is no time available. So there's a possibility, therefore, that there could be an ascendant somewhere in Aquarius or Capricorn, places where he would draw in the firepower of either Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, something to correlate with this event. But if I simply go with the points that I do have, there isn't a whole lot, although I do see that 2022 is much, much harder because he has a fixed T-square formed by 3 planets in Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo. And next year, through the whole year, but especially at election time, Saturn and Uranus are really hitting that T-square hard. And that's dangerous. That's a definite possibility of things going wrong for him. When I look at Delina's chart, there's a Pluto conjunction to her Mercury, which could be good, potentially, for winning an election. She also has Mars in Aries. Jupiter will be in Aries for a big chunk of the year. It doesn't quite get as far as the Mars, but it's potentially a pretty good placement. But there's not a lot there to give me something definitive, but of course I also don't know her time either, right? So when I'm looking at this as in, are we going to get rid of this guy? If I had to bet, I'd probably say no, simply on the common sense data that is available, because he's been winning easily. And go back and look at every election, all the way back to 2010, there was one, I believe, that he won by single digits, but every other election he's winning hugely, easily, right? And when you look at the demographics of the district, that's not that encouraging either. I invite you to take a look yourself. Arizona's 4th District. If I had to guess, my feeling is this guy may be just one of those GOP nuts that are in the Louis Gohmert category, and you have to put up with him. Now, that said, I will cross my fingers and hope for the best, because we've got that T-square pressure next year, which is considerable. And I could add, Neptune next year will also be square his Saturn-Mercury in Sagittarius. So that's now 2 points that are getting, or rather 2 areas that involve 5 planets, that are getting heavy, heavy pressure. And you never want Neptune in a square, because Neptune in a square correlates with loss of popularity, loss in general. Things just go against you. So let's cross our fingers and hope that either Delina can mount a huge comeback, or perhaps a different opponent could win against her in the primaries and then defeat Paul Gosar. But as I say, given the fact that the district is so gerrymandered, I have to be a little bit skeptical that we can get that seat back. But let's hope for the best.